Hey everybody, it's James here from American Drifter, and today I'm out here on a beautiful rainy Thursday afternoon in Delray Beach, Florida, and I'm testing out my gear loadout for my upcoming trip. Now that I've done so, I wanted to take you along with me back to the house to unload this bag to show you what I'm carrying for my next trip. Let's get to it. We are back inside now, and before I get started, I just want to say we do have a lot of gear to cover, but I will try to move as efficiently and as quickly as possible to be respectful of your time, and we are moving from left to right. So let's get started. All the way on the left, we have an olive green Osprey Talon 33 backpack, and that is my backpack of choice for long trips. Below that, the orange bag is also from Osprey. That is a 20-liter waterproof bag that I can use to store my sleep system and or additional clothing. To the right of that, those two small gray bags with the bird on it, they are from Hummingbird Hammocks. The one on the left is the actual hammock, which is a single plus, and to the right of that are the straps. Next we have the Life Easy Hammock Bug Net. And then to the right of that is Nature's Hangout Canopy. It's a sil nylon hammock tarp. And that big blue square thing on the right, that is from Hammock Gear. That is the Econ Burrow Quilt, rated for 20 degrees. In front of that is the black storage bag to keep it in. And that small green bag in front of the black one is from Survival Frog. It is a tack bivvy. And I wanted to bring that along just in the event that I did get really cold and I wanted to have an extra layer to keep me warm and protect me from the cold environment. Moving on to clothing, I'm sure a lot of these items will look familiar if you've seen my outdoor clothing video. If you haven't, I will link it on the top right corner. So on the left, we have the Polartec standard issue beanie. Below that, we have two items from Patagonia. One is the long sleeve merino Capilene shirt, and below that we have Patagonia's Capilene pants. To the right of that, we have Patagonia's Nano Air jacket. Below that, the Arcade belt. To the right, we have Outdoor Research Helium 2 jacket and Ferro Sea pants. And then to the right of that, you have a Condor hat and multicam. And underneath that is a shirt from Columbia, which I've really grown to love over the past year, and that is their Silver Ridge shirt. I wore it almost exclusively on a 3-week trip, and I'm a big fan of it, so that's why I'm bringing it on this trip. Underneath that, you have the Darn Tough socks, and that's really it for clothing. Below those items, we have footwear. On the left, I have a gray pair of sandals, and then on the right, I have a pair of Merrell Trail Glove 5s. And I'm a big fan of these shoes. I've been wearing them for years, since the 3s came out, really, and I've done everything from long distance hikes to Spartan races in these shoes. Moving on to water filtration, cookware, first aid, and hygiene items. Again, starting from the left, I have the Sawyer Mini water filter with the syringe to clean it, along with the 16-ounce water storage bag that came with it, and the additional Knock Outdoors 2-liter water bag. This is a great item. I've been using it for a few years now, and it's a great way to save weight on the trail, especially if you're hiking near water sources. Moving on to cookware, I have a titanium cup here from Snow Peak, and it is a 450 milliliter cup. Below that, I have a BRS mini stove. And to the right of that, I have a spork that is titanium, also from Snow Peak. On the right here, I have a first aid kit that I put together. I have a tourniquet in here, combat gauze, medical tape, got my blood type there, some ibuprofen, a ton of bandages in there, and also some moleskin in the event that, I get blisters. So just a lot of items in there. And I wanted to make my own so it wasn't too bulky. Moving on to hygiene items on the right. So I have baby wipes up top. along with camp soap, and I only have half a container because I don't really use it that much on the trail, along with foot powder. Very important. You want to make sure that you're taking care of your feet while you're out there on the trail. And then we have the collapsible toothbrush from Z-Packs, along with a mini tube of toothpaste, which I'll probably have to get more because that's not a whole lot of toothpaste. And then I have toilet paper for doing your business, and the Deuce #2 digging trowel. Last but not least, we have electronic items and miscellaneous items. So starting from the left, we have the inverter. If this doesn't look familiar, then you should check out my video and I will link it right up here. You should definitely have one of those. Next to that, we have a phone charger, and that is for my OnePlus 7 Pro, and the phone's not there because right now I'm using it to record this video. On the right, we have an Anker battery bank. I want to say it's around a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And below that, we have a headlamp from Nightcore. That is the NU20. Been using it for about a year now, and I'm very happy with it. And to the right of that, I'm trying out the newer Lumentop Tool AA flashlight I featured in one of the EDC videos a while back. So I just like to have that as a redundancy and, you know, as a backup in the event that, you know, the battery dies in the headlamp. And I do like to have a small compass with me. So I have two featured here, just, you know, as an example. So I have a wristwatch small compass here, and to the right of that, I have a Suunto M9 wrist compass. And I don't like to do a lot of heavy land navigation, but I do prefer to have, you know, like a topographical map with me. And, you know, I kind of use that just to get my bearings and use certain landmarks as handrails in order to find my way. Next to that, I have a Right in the Rain notepad covered in Realtree camo duct tape because the yellow is kind of giving me anxiety. And then next to that, we have the all-weather Right in the Rain pen, which I covered that in an EDC video. I will link it up here if you haven't seen it. And then we have the Blackbeard fire starter, which I also did a video on it, and I will link that. I just want to have that with me in the event that I was in a wet environment. I've tested this and I know it works. So it just gives me more peace of mind knowing that I have that in my bag. And lastly, I have the EDC pouch from the Hidden Woodsman. I'm either going to use it to organize some of these items or use it for some of my hygiene items. Before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to mention, if you are an experienced hiker, you probably noticed that I missed a few key items in this layout. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't include those. So you probably noticed that I don't have a lighter, a knife, or stove fuel, trekking poles, or a topographical map. So the reason I didn't list those is several of those items aren't allowed on an aircraft for good reason. The topographical map I do plan on acquiring before I leave on my trip, but as far as the other items go, yes, they are important to have, and I do plan on having them. However, what I like to do is, since I'm a simple guy, I like to travel with one carry-on bag. It just makes it so much easier when I arrive at my destination. I just have my bag on me and I go, and I'll simply go to a cheap store like Walmart and pick up those items. Now that you've seen my gear layout for a 2-week trip, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section listed down below, as I do see those and I do respond to them. If you found this video helpful, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.